make her home with you.
A home. And so that really just confirms when you are making your vessel clean for the Holy Spirit to live within you, what happens? You become intimate with the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
And they will walk with you every step of the way and become that light and lamp to your feet.
Okay.
Verse 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Verse 6, and Abraham ran and took a calf, tender and good, and he hastened to kill it and gave it to his servant Eliezer to dress.
Now, Eliezer was Abraham's most trusted servant. He was technically his friend of friends. This was a trusted man in his home that made sure that his house was in order. He worked with Abraham. Okay.
And you know what? And you're absolutely right, Elder, because we remember Eliezer's name coming up when the Most High, when he was talking about who his heir would be.
Exactly.
He was willing to give it to him because they didn't have any children.
Exactly. That's correct. Keep going, Father.
Verse 7, and Abraham came to Sarah into the tent, and he said to her, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it and make cakes to cover the pot containing the meat, and she did so. And Abraham hastened and brought before them butter and milk, beef and mutton, and gave it before them to eat before the flesh of the calf was sufficiently done, and they did eat.
Now that's another trait on my people, and I ain't being sexist. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. That Sarah knew how to cook. She made what? Yeah, what she had? Probably?
She had butter, milk, beef, and mutton, and gave it before them to eat before the flesh of the calf.
Is that mutton some kind of stew or something?
Yeah, some sort of stew.
It's probably good too.
It's probably good, as we can hear. Elder likes to eat.
All right.
Verse 9. And when they had done eating, one of them said to him.
Which one of them said?
One of them.
One of them said, right?
One of them said to him, I will return to thee according to the time of life. So who was that said that? And Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son.
Whoa, so this one is prophesying and saying, hey, Sarah, thy wife shall have a son. Reminding you now, Abraham already got a son that's 13 years old. And they're well stricken in their years. This one prophesying to Abraham, I'm going to return back unto thee, and Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son.
Well, see, and I'm just reading, and we're kind of pulling this because this is the study hall. I'm looking, and first I think that I will return to thee according to the time of life is him speaking about identifying who he is, really. Right. According to the time of life, I will return to thee. And then the extra prophecy was, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. So it kind of, according to the time of life, you just know that that's Yeshaya. Okay. You do. He's always the one that's speaking the word before it was before his time, actually, for his time to manifest on this earth. Verse 10, and the men afterward departed and went their ways to the places to which they were sent. Verse 11, in those days, all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and of the whole 5 cities.
So Sodom and Gomorrah was 2 cities, but it was really 5 altogether. This was a group of cities all together, brothers and sisters. But Sodom and Gomorrah is really highlighted in the Bible because they were probably the main 2 cities that did wicked. The most highlighted.
Well, we would recognize today, and we want to bring it up to the vernacular. They were the main cities that had LGBT.
All right. Okay. Well, keep going, Prophet. Keep reading. Follow along, brothers and sisters. This is the book of Jasher, chapter 18, verse 11.
All right. And of the whole 5 cities were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Lord, and they provoked the Lord with their abominations. And they strengthened in aging abominably and scornfully before the Lord. And their wickedness and crimes were in those days great before the Lord.
So in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, it was a high time for wickedness. It was wicked. They were wicked and their crimes were great before the Lord continuously.
And then the aging. So it's like they have been doing it for so long. People were old, and that means that they were recreating. Right. Other generations.
This been going on for years. This has been going on for years. Go ahead.
And verse 12, and they had in their land a very extensive valley, about half a day's walk. And in it there were fountains of water and a great deal of herbage surrounding the water. And all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah went there 4 times in the year with their wives and children and all belonging to them, and they rejoiced there with timbrels and dances.
So this was in that land, there was a valley that was like an oasis, okay? It had water down there and great vegetation, so it was a vacation spot for the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. They would go down there and dance and have all kind of things going on down there, celebrate. Keep going, bro.
You can only imagine because they were filled with wickedness anyway, so what would be happening? And in the time of rejoicing, verse 14, and in the time of rejoicing, they would all rise and lay hold of their neighbors' wives.
Wait. Now, what I want to bring about now is the similarities of this Sodom and Gomorrah to Babylon today, America today. All right, that's what we want to bring about. We have what we call swinger nations, swinger associations. All right, other men and other women taking a hold of other men's and women's husbands.
And it's happening right now today.
There's nothing new under the sun, brothers and sisters. This happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's happening here. Right. Keep going, brothers.
If I may add, it's happening here factually because we live in the state of Colorado, and there is a place.
Right, it's all over. It's here in America, in this land. It's happening in every. I believe it's happening in every state.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So, hold of their neighbors' wives, and some the virgin daughters of their neighbors, and they enjoyed them. And each man saw his wife and daughter in the hands of his neighbor, and did not say a word.
And did not what?
Did not say a word. And they did so from morning to night. And they afterward returned home, each man to his house and each woman to her tent. So they always did 4 times in the year.
So 4 times in the year, they had a big old orgy party at this place. Sodom and Gomorrah, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah would go down to this valley spot, okay, and go and do wicked before the Lord 4 times a year. And the men will allow it and wouldn't say what?
They wouldn't say a word.
Shame. Go ahead. Abominations. Go ahead, prophets.
Verse 16. Also, when a stranger came into their cities and brought goods which he had purchased with a view to dispose of there, the people of these cities would assemble men, women, and children, young and old, and go to the man and take his goods by force.
Now, this wicked. You just going to take. Now, this is what they would do in Sodom and Gomorrah. We have places now here in America that people would set you up to get robbed. Okay, we're just bringing out similarities, brothers. Keep going, brother.
Giving a little to each man until there was an end to all the goods of the owner which he had brought into the land. And if the owner of the goods quarreled with them, saying, "What is this work which you have done to me?" then they would approach to him one by one, and each would show him the little which he took, and taunt him, saying, "I only took that little which thou didst give me."
What does that mean? You think that mean that it's right for you to just take something from somebody? I only took a little bit. Look, man, I only took this. I only took that. That's my stuff. It belongs to me. Who told you to take it? What they trying to justify themselves properly? Read that again.
Oh, what is this work which you have done to me? The stranger would say. Then they would approach to him one by one, and each would show him the little which he took, and taunt him, saying, "I only took that little which thou didst give me."
I didn't give you nothing.
And when he heard this from them all, he would arise and go from them in sorrow and bitterness of soul. When they would all arise and go after him and drive him out of the city with great noise and tumult. So they chased him out, making noise, and he was broke. Verse 18. And there was a man from the country of Elam who was leisurely going on the road, seated upon his ass, which carried a fine mantle of divers colors, and the mantle was bound with a cord upon the ass or a donkey. Verse 19. And the man was on his journey, passing through the street of Sodom, when the sun set in the evening, and he remained there in order to abide during the night. But no one would let him into his house. And at that time there was in Sodom a wicked and mischievous man, one skillful to do evil, and his name was Hadad.
All right, now they say that this man was skillful to do evil. All right, he was wicked and mischievous, right? But the scripture's saying that he was skillful. You got people that are always cunningly, always swift, their feet always swift to do evil. That comes up with ways on how to rob people, how to despise people, and misuse people. And his name was what, prophet?
Hadad.
Okay.
Verse 20. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the traveler in the street of the city. And he came to him and said, Whence comest thou, and whither dost thou go?
It ain't none of your business where I'm coming from and then where I'm going. These people is something else. Keep going, prophet.
Verse 21. And the man said to him, I am traveling from Hebron to Elam, where I belong. And as I passed the sunset, and no one would suffer me to enter his house, though I had bread and water, and also straw and provender for my donkey or ass, and am short of nothing. And Hadad answered and said to him, All that thou shalt want shall be supplied by me.
Yeah, here's the Lord now. Here's the Lord. Watch these people. You got to understand who really is your friend, brothers and sisters. Just don't be taken in by a stranger. Okay? What did he say?
But in the street thou shalt not abide all night. And Hadad brought him to his house, and he took off the mantle from the donkey or the ass with the cord, and brought them to his house. And he gave the ass straw and provender, whilst this traveler ate and drank in Hadad's house, and he abode there that night.
Okay.
And in the morning the traveler rose up early to continue his journey, when Hadad said to him, Wait, comfort thy heart with a morsel of bread, and then go. And the man did so, and he remained with him, and they both ate and drank together during the day. When the man rose up to go, and Hadad said to him, Behold, now the day is...
Now, look, I'm supposed to have been gone early. You kept me here.
Drinking.
You drank. We drank. We ate. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm finished, but, you know, it looked like you're trying to prevent me from getting to my destination. Watch people. We got to stay on the right track. We got to stay focused. Now, this person, true enough, Hadad is offering this stuff to her. The stranger's not saying, give me this, give me that. Okay? He is continuing to offer this to him. Go ahead, prophets. Go ahead.
And Hadad said to him, verse 25, Behold, now the day is declining. Thou hadst better remain all night.
Now I got to stay another night? Go ahead.
Thou hadst better remain all night, that thy heart may be comforted. And he pressed him so that he tarried there all night. And on the second day he rose up early to go away, when Hadad pressed him, saying, Comfort thy heart with a morsel of bread, and then go. And he remained and ate with him also.
This is a common thing. Didn't Abraham press the angels to stay with them? Stay with him? Don't this man know how to press some people? He's wicked though.
But you're right, Elder, and I want, you brought out something about Hadad. One of his characteristics that is stated in verse 19. Hadad was one skillful to do evil. So we need to recognize, as you continue to say, you've been saying throughout, pay attention to who's offering you anything. We don't have to be quick to take anything. This man did not have need for anything. He said that very clearly. He had everything he needed to house himself. He just needed a space. That was it. He could even feed his own self. So he didn't have need for anything. So what was it? What is it sometimes in our hearts that causes us to be drifted away? You know, you didn't have need for anything. Of course, you wanted to be kind, but we have to learn how to stay on track, as you stated, Elder. Verse, where are we? Verse 25. And Hadad said to him, Behold, now the day is declining. Thou hadst better remain all night, that thy heart may be comforted. And he pressed him so that he tarried there all night. And on the second day he rose up early to go away, when Hadad pressed him, saying, Comfort thy heart with a morsel of bread, and then go. And he remained and ate with him also the second day. And then the man rose up to continue his journey. And Hadad said to him, Behold, now the day is declining.
Not a dancing.
Remain with me to comfort thy heart in the morning. Rise up early and go thy way. And the man would not remain. Good, finally. But rose and saddled his ass, his donkey. And whilst he was saddling his donkey, the wife of Hadad said to her husband, behold, this man has remained with us for 2 days, eating and drinking, and he has given us nothing.
Okay. Hold on. Hadad got a wife? So she been there all the time. She been watching this, right? And she's in on this?
Why wouldn't she be? With his...
Where you at, Prophet?
I'm at verse 27.
All right. Read.